So this meeting is being recorded. Got it. Okay. And then I'm gonna share my screen. I should be able to, share. I can. Here we go. Click, share, share, click, share, and put it in present mode. Hang on. If I can get this over to present mode, I will be happier. If not, I will present just from this, but I would rather. Hang on, let me get out of here, stop sharing and see why. I'm going to flip it into present mode first, I guess. Hang on. Yeah. Information. There we go. And now I'm going to come back to my Zoom and share. I think. Here I am. Come back here and say share screen, and come to there and say share. And now you got this nice presentation. There you go. Okay, so we're going to be talking in this presentation that's being recorded about the GGU School of Business, the Information Technology Management Program. Jeffrey's on the call, and and if you come late, and you'll be able to see, pick up the recording and get the whole thing, even if you missed the top half. So we're in San Francisco. Here's a picture of San Francisco, and just above, to the right of the piece of paper, is Salesforce Tower. The top of it's kind of blue because it's got a bunch of lights in it, and it's a red day. And Golden Gate University's campus is right across the street from that building. So we are in the middle of downtown San Francisco, which is really convenient if you come in by train or by BART or by bus. It's right in the middle of the transportation center of the city, which is just great. And I come in on a bus, so that's how that works. And so it's easy access. We serve the students both remotely and locally. So if you live in Texas, which one of our attendees does, you can take your classes remotely. We use the new Zoom tools to make sure that those are pretty interactive. Like this one we're on right now, and you get to know your fellow classmates. I will be delivering this course, the first course of this program. I'm going into the city tomorrow night, Tuesday, tomorrow night, to deliver it on campus. So some classes are on campus and you can attend by Zoom, or if you're physically living in the city, you can come in and we can have a personal connection and have that happen. So it's offered both ways. If we end up with more enrollment, we will split it so the Zoom class is separated from the physical in-person class, but right now they're shared, and that's working out just fine. Let me see if I can figure out why I can't. Oh, here's the next. Okay. Why GGU? It's an online university. We've been doing this online stuff for since 2000. So we're pretty good at it. The university's been around for 117 years. 2006, I think, was the start year. Not 2006, 1906, about the same time as the earthquake in San Francisco. And we've been serving working adults. We're a nonprofit. It's an accredited school. I'll be on campus dealing with the accreditation agencies this afternoon, actually. We have faculty practitioners. The people that teach in this school mostly work for a living. I'm the exception. I'm a full-time faculty member. I have consulting work outside of here, but I don't have a day job outside of here. So but most of the faculty do. So they teach in between that. So maybe they're the network expert at a bank, or the network expert or the analytics expert at a bank, or the network expert at NASA Ames, or they work for Oracle or Google, so they're practicing this field. They're not doing it from something they learned. They didn't get out of college and then come and teach. They got out of college and worked in the industry for 20 years and now back teaching. And so it's a pretty deep experience. It's a working adult focus. This is most of the students in this program got a bachelor's degree, spent a couple of years doing something in the field, and then came back to get a master's degree because they want to grow their experience in the field and their career path in the field. And they like IT. They've made that decision. So it's an online or it's an in-person or a blended program. We offer it in all three formats. Now I'm going to see if I can make this. Students and resources in order to support you. We have academic advising. Tyler in this program helps. Math and English tutoring if you're having issue with your underlying skills. If English is a new language to you, or you just don't do a lot of writing, we have English programs to help you get better. And in this program, mostly writing means we have in the leadership program, we have some long reports that you have to do, but in this, it means being able to communicate like an engineer. It's a technical degree and it's a technical program. And the issue is, can you talk about technical topics? Not can you write an essay about a poem you read once upon a time. These are technical courses and technical programs. We got network support, 7x24. If you have a disability that affects your ability to study, we have services like every university, but to make sure that you can accommodate those limitations so they become irrelevant to your degree work. We have counseling to help you work this. And then in this program, we have internship opportunities to put your feet on the ground in some business, so you have a chance to see what the world is like when you actually get out in the working world. Career advising, we have a team that talks about how best to plan your career, how to make that work. I've got and most of the professors will also speak to about this. We've got multiple decades working in the field, so we're happy to talk to you about what does that mean and where to work. The real value comes from somebody who's closer in time to your experience, somebody who's recently entered the field, and we have counselors and advisors and help you do that. Sometimes my point of view is I'm too far away from your experience that my advice is the best advice you can get. Sometimes somebody coming closer to your experiences give you better advice. We have networking events, and I will be more than happy to critique your resume, as will others. We'll make sure that your people are seeing you and what your skills are, not just what's on the piece of paper. And we'll help you optimize your LinkedIn profiles. Experienced faculty, Robert Chow is the network director down at NASA Ames. Anthony Asai's over at Oracle. Banu Vishwand is the security officer of VMware, small little company here in the Bay Area. Tammy Blake is running the PMO, help building projects. Teams are global teams, but they're building for the Gap, which is a local San Francisco company here in the Bay Area. Management at GGU. Program features, we talk about software infrastructure, networking, communications, and data management. Those four legs come to play, plus some leadership skills, plus some PM skills. So you get a good mix. Here's where our alumni come from. And then you can read the little teeny print. It says AT&T, US Air Force, Wells Fargo Bank, Oracle, Pacific Gas and Electric. Mostly these are local San Francisco companies. IBM, I guess that's a San Francisco local company, I guess. Hewlett Packard, local San Francisco company. But San Francisco is the tech center of the planet. I mean, Silicon Valley and San Francisco. So all the attorneys and the venture capitalists and the technical lead companies and the innovation companies are right here in San Francisco. Across the street is Salesforce, and our backyard is Fitbit. We rent to them. Actually, they rent a building from us. They're now part of Google. Google's 2 blocks away. Airbnb is down the block. Twitter is down at 4th and Mission, or 6th and Mission instead of 2nd and Mission, where we are. The tech industry is sort of right here in our backyard, and so those opportunities are available. Crunchbase is here, which you can use to track the venture capital world. This is the happening place in terms of technology. Half of the money that flows through the venture capital world ends up getting poured into companies in the San Francisco Bay Area, and the other half around the rest of the world. So it's a pretty dynamic, pretty interesting place. Planet.com's here. Tesla just moved to Texas. I don't know what's thinking they were thinking. That seems, but I guess Elon's got his own way of doing things. So we got a solid alumni network that you can link into. Learning outcomes. You will learn how IT works in terms of the business climate. This is a business school. You're not going to learn to do Python or C++ or network engineering. You can take Udemy classes. I'll recommend some Udemy classes if you want to go learn that. It's not a computer science class like Berkeley or Stanford. If you want to go develop computer electronics and circuitry, those are wonderful universities, but that's not Golden Gate's business. Is a business focused. How can I get into the practice and procedures of IT? And I graduated from Berkeley, but my career has been in implementation. How do you make this stuff work in the field? And a lot of the really interesting stuff that happens in the field first. And then the universities get drugged back into it because they want the affiliation. But there's as much innovation happening at the bleeding edge of implementation as there back in the universities. So we have a pretty rich focus on that, and we are building our internship programs to have more and more focus on what's coming up. And I will help find internships. If you're out of state, I will help find an internship for you out of state. There's opportunities where companies cross over to San Francisco or there, or somebody just wants somebody who's got a university background to help them with their internship program they want to build, and they want to build with somebody who's got a university tie. And we're global in that regard. See, learning outcomes, planning and budgeting processes. I'm sitting here writing a budgeting unit right now in new and emerging technologies. We spend a bunch of time talking about, let me see, Federal Communications Commission Friday, maybe it was Monday, I think it was Friday, announced a new division of the Federal Communications Division. Worsling, I can't pronounce her name, the chair of the Federal Communications Commission announced they're announcing a space division. They have 26,000 applications for people who want to launch satellites, and they are unable to deal with the volume. And clearly satellites and space is the new frontier, and the U.S. Federal Communications Commission is moving forward. So, I mean, that's pretty current information, right? That, and Elon Musk just bought Twitter. That's kind of bleeding edge information. Both of those are going to transform the industry. Golden Gate's job is to stay current on all this stuff and bring it to you so you can plan your career effectively, knowing not what happened last year or last quarter or a week and a half ago, but what's happening right now. And literally, FCC's moving forward, and we've been tracking all their auctions and stuff in terms of spectrum being released. So we're doing new and emerging technologies. There's some new, the RISC-V chips are coming out. The architecture is coming out. That's expanding. We're following that. We're members of RISC-V. We're members of Kubernetes, CI/CD, Cloud Native Compute Foundation, where Golden Gate University is a university member of that agency. So what that means, we're also members of the Linux Foundation, which is core to a bunch of this innovation. And I was a member of, participated in the Apache Foundation group. But that's back in my personal history. The program looks like this. It's 30 units. There's some core courses. I teach 300. Business analytics is, you just need some foundational data work you need to be able to do. You need 300, which is the course I teach. Then is SQL. Helen teaches SQL. 316. Tabby Blake, who's at Gap, teaches software engineering. Network engineering is Robert Chow down at NASA Ames. Banu teaches privacy and security compliance. And Anthony Aside teaches big data Hadoop. And my graduate students run the AWS instance that those labs all run on. So not only do you come here as a student, we use the teaching assistant program to take and stretch it so that there's a learning opportunity beyond just taking the courses. And then there's electives. And in this program, you can do 3 units of a capstone, or you can do 3 units of an internship. And then in addition, you can choose electives from kind of 2 focal areas. There's 3 actually. There's 2 on this page and 1 more. Data analytics, those are the 4 courses for data analytics that would become your core, or leadership, the 4 courses in leadership. And then the project management is the 3rd opportunity where you can focus on project management and take one of that group of courses. You take 3, I think, of these. I think it says on 9 units, so 3 of these 6 courses, 1 of these 5 courses. Or you can take the security focus, which maybe Jeffrey, you'd be interested in. There's the core course 323, and then these 2 elective courses, one of which is using Kali Linux in order to do actual defense work. So graduate certificates, the 3 security courses you can take as a certificate if you want, instead of a whole degree, or you can earn a degree, a certificate in project management outside of this program. International students on campus employment, that's because if you're an F1 student, an F1 visa says you're not here to work, you're here to study, so you cannot take employment. You can't go across the street and work in the coffee shop across the street. You can work in the coffee shop on campus, but you can't work in the coffee shop across the street. It's and we respect and honor and enforce federal standards because that protects everybody. But we find work on campus for F1 students, and some of which is running the Hadoop instances and the AWS platform that we use for the ITM program. CPT, this is if you're an international student, the opportunity to do a course instead of a capstone is offered, which we talked about that already. And then OPT, which is if you're an international student in the STEM degree, which this is, you then get up to 3 years of visa support, so you can extend your academic learning into in United States experience. And then after 3 years, your student visa runs, and you have to either choose to repatriate or find some other visa vehicle if you want to continue employment here. But 3 years is a long time. You can get a lot under your belt in 3 years. Applying for GGU, you got to submit an application. It'll be no charge because you came to this seminar. You're going to get a certificate that waives the fee, and then you apply. If you're the requirement for entry into this program is a GPA 3.0. I'm letting students in with this, somebody who's in a career transition situation, who wants to grow into this area and did something else for a living first, but has demonstrated the actual experience on the job as opposed to academic grades. I can waive the 3.0 hard requirement and make a consideration, which I have done, for people who are in career transition and they want to grow into this field and have demonstrated by actual work experience or taking certificates or other degrees, or somehow establishing they're working in a field that they're going to be successful in. There's no reason. It's not good business for me or you, the student, to start a degree you're not going to finish. So that's really what this conversation is about, is are you going to be successful? So if you're going to start, you're going to finish. And I will help you, or the whole program will help you do that, but you got to be ready. You got to be ready to put in the time, and have done the foundational work to be ready. So proficiency is required. You have an English language skill. So we have a writing program that'll help you pick that up if there's an issue. There's a web in our website that talks about it, so you can practice your writing skills. Guide tuition is it's a 30-unit program. So each course is $3,200, 330 about. So it's about a $30,000 trip at the graduate level, which is Joffrey. I think that's where we are. and undergraduate is less. There are some scholarship opportunities available, some of which will be your personal resources that you bring to bear. Maybe you're a veteran, or maybe you have other sponsorships, and some will be through the university, and then you can apply for those, and we'll determine the eligibility for those. The deans have scholarships and others, and the details for applying for them I don't have on this course, on this slide deck, but you can, your application advisor can help you get that information together. Financing your degree, there's the FAFSA model, so you got the student loan model, and then you got military benefits, private loans, and employer reimbursement. And if you can do employer reimbursement, all the better. That a lot of our students, the employers want them to have a master's degree, and so they support the program in some way by, providing some resource that's important. Maybe it's a time off at work, or maybe it's financial, or maybe it's travel time, but it's the collaboration of employer with this. The university is a big part of academics across this country, and it's a big part of Golden Gate University. Important dates, we are down into spring 23. So registration starts November 7th, which I think was yesterday. And this program, this term will start the day after the New Year's week is over, and we begin classes on January 8th. And then the summer term, which would come after spring, you can see up here, to start sometime in March, but it would be like the second week of March 23, if that's when you're thinking of coming, if January is too soon for you. What's next? Application fee waive code. Complete the application so we know who you are and you know who we are. The information contact, you can get a hold of me. There's my email. You can get a hold of the application process, GGU, and there's the phone numbers and info@ggu.edu, general information, and the application information. GGU School of Business is I'm in the School of Business. Like I said, this is a business school. This isn't a computer science school. It's a business school. So I'm in the School of Business, and that's how to reach me. And Michael will be the other contact that you'll have. And any questions? I don't hear any questions. Jeff, and I think you and I are the ones, we finished this without other people attending. So any questions, sir?
And Jeffrey, this is Mike with the admissions office. You will receive a follow-up email within the next 48 hours containing the application code waiver. Sometimes we have students having difficulty getting the follow-up email. So for your convenience, I've just pasted the actual application fee waiver code on the chat, on the Zoom chat. So you don't need to wait for the follow-up email. You can use it right away after the webinar. Of course, you get to decide whether you want to start the school as soon as possible, or you want to think a little bit before you are ready to make a commitment. Either case, the application fee waiver code is already on the chat for you to use once you're ready.
Okay. Any questions?
No questions, sir. Thank you.
Good. Okay, well, in any case, I hope if you decide to do this, you find a way at least to make one trip to San Francisco. The difference is, it's San Francisco is about 65 degrees all the time, because we're right in we're in northern water, so literally San Francisco is surrounded. So on a hot day it's 75, and on a cold day it's 60. And we had like 3 days this summer that we actually got up in the 90s and people were dying. Because it just never gets that hot. So it's very, very temperate. And the humidity it's cool here. So sometimes the humidity is high because you're in a fog bank, but it's usually high humidity and it's 55 degrees. And you can't see across the street because you're living in a fog bank. But it's sort of different than Dallas. So if you want cold weather, you're welcome to come to San Francisco.